If you're looking for an absolutely delicious breakfast that takes no time at all, look no further than these Johnny Cakes. I can't say it enough. They come together in just a few minutes. They're absolutely incredible, and you actually may never make pancakes ever again after trying this. According to the Food Lover's Companion Guide, a Johnny Cake is said to be the pancake's precursor. It dates all the way back to the early 1700s. What? It's a rather flat griddle cake made of cornmeal, salt, and either boiling water or cold milk. There are strong advocates for both versions, milk or water. Eggs, oil, or melted butter, and a leavening agent such as baking powder, which is what I'm going to use, are also often added. It's also known as a hoe cake. So down south is a hoe cake, up north is a Johnny cake. Regardless, it's really simple to make. We're going to start off with that batter. Let's prep it up. Sound good? Let's cook. So in a very large bowl, what we're going to start off doing is adding some all-purpose flour right to that bowl. Next, we're going to hit it with some finely ground cornmeal. You could use coarse ground if you wanted. Now, pour in some sugar for a little bit of sweetness. Hit it with some baking powder. This is going to help make these things super light, fluffy, and thick. And then, of course, season everything with salt. I love sea salt. You use a little bit less of it, but it tastes way better. And now in a separate bowl, we're going to add in a few large eggs, followed up with adding in some melted, unsalted butter to this wet mixture. Let me stop right here and say this. If you were traditionally making this recipe, you would most likely use rendered bacon fat or drippings. That's why I always tell you, don't you dare throw away that rendered bacon fat. It's so good in everything. I'm telling you, they knew something back in the day. They used everything, and that's why it tasted better. It was more natural and more delicious. Now what we're going to do is add some buttermilk or even regular whole milk. Whatever you have is totally fine, right to the bowl of wet ingredients. Okay, sorry for all the stopping. If you don't have buttermilk, fine. Add 1 tablespoon of white distilled vinegar or lemon juice to your milk. Boom, you've got buttermilk. Go ahead and add in some water in addition to everything, then grab a whisk and just whisk this until it is completely combined. You want to make sure the yolks are crushed and whisked together. Once it is at this consistency, let's go ahead and take it over to the dry ingredients. We're just going to simply pour it in while slowly beginning to whisk. Now, the key and the trick to very thick, fluffy pancakes, and it doesn't matter if you're making Johnny cakes or pancakes, is to gently whisk it together just until combined. Do not overmix. And just like that, the batter is finished. Super simple. And it's like I say every single week, or rather every dang video. Homies, you start understanding these little fundamental techniques like not overmixing. And it doesn't matter if you're making a pancake batter or this Johnny cake batter. Those little air pockets, those little flour pockets, they're going to help rise, make it fluffier, make it nice and thick to make the most beautiful cakes around. I always say it, better than the restaurants, better than the stores. Homemade food from scratch just tastes better, and these are the bomb. So let's get cooking. So I'm going to just finish up giving this a whisk. It looks absolutely fantastic. So let's take this bowl right over to where your cooktop is, and you can do it in a large frying pan or on a griddle or in this cast iron skillet. We're going to add in some oil. You could use canola, sunflower, even avocado oil would be great. We're going to add in a ladle of the batter at a time. I've got a pretty big pan here, so I can do 4 of these Johnny cakes cooked at one time. They take about 3 minutes on each side for them to completely cook through and become a nice, perfect golden brown like you see here. Remember, over low heat. They've got that cornmeal in there. They can burn really easily, so be sure to keep an eye on them. And then once they're done, they're ready to serve. These are actually really filling, so you may only be able to eat 1 or 2 at a time. That's why I made them smaller in diameter compared to a big old pancake. So now let's plate them up in slow-mo. I'm going to add a nice big fat stack of these Johnny cakes right on top of each other. Looks really good. They're honestly about 3/4 of an inch thick, which is just awesome when it comes to any sort of pancakes or Johnny cakes. Hit it with some unsalted butter, let it melt on, and then of course you want to add on your maple syrup. You could make a maple butter or a honey butter, or obviously just use syrup like I'm doing here. Super good, honestly. You won't eat another pancake again. Check out these beauties. Seriously, you guys, these are so good. I honestly may never eat pancakes again. That's how dang delicious they are. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. Definitely check out this recipe because it is super good. And I'll see you on there.